Now, I'll never get on this internet and pretend to be a preacher, a Bible scholar, a minister, a perfect Christian, or none of those things, because none of those things are who I am. I'm just a girl who loves the Lord and knows something about trusting Him. So let's get into it. I'm not anti-work, but I am anti-worshiping work. I mean, let's face it, hustle culture says if you grind harder, if you work, then you'll be successful. Scripture says something different. Yes, it does say work with all your heart. Absolutely, it says that. But it also says it's God who produces the results of our work. So then it's like, which one is it? Do we hustle harder or trust God deeper? I'm going to have to say both, but in the right order. I mean, just like in the Bible, God told Joshua that the victory was already his, right? He told him that, but he still had to march. They still had to show up every day and march around those walls. It wasn't their marching that made the walls of Jericho fall down. It was God, and he could have did it at any time he wanted to, but he wanted to see if they were going to be obedient. So their obedience of doing the work, coupled with God's power, is what brought those walls down. And I know a little something about trusting God. Listen, I haven't worked a traditional 9 to 5 since early 2021. 2021 is also the year that my family's overhead expenses literally tripled. On paper, that made no sense at all for my family. But every year since then, God has made my husband's income enough. Not because we started hustling harder, not because we figured out some secret of the elite, but simply because God has provided. I don't know another way to put it. From early 2022 through mid 2025, I worked for a startup entrepreneur real estate investing company. When I say I worked for it, I mean I helped build this company. I believed in everything about this company, and it was fulfilling. It aligned directly with my passion and a part of my purpose. So it was very fulfilling work for me. But the pay was very little. Very little. And even that was inconsistent. Eventually, I was let go. Mid 2025, I was let go from that position. If you want to hear the backstory, it's another video on the channel. Initially, that being let go really did feel like rejection to me. Ultimately, however, it was protection from God. So I'm very grateful for that. It was just a reminder to me that my source was never in that company. My source is God, and He was just using that company as a resource for the time being. Hold that thought. I'm back. Now, what was I saying? I know what I was saying. What I was saying was, I've worked hard and still been underpaid. I've believed in the mission, seen the vision, put my efforts into it, and still been let go. I've seen our expenses increase substantially and not our income to go along with it. But through all of those things, every single time, God has provided. Am I going the right way? And I truly believe that it's because hard work is actually obedience. Not in hard as in physically, but putting all of your efforts into it. That hard work that you put into it, that's obedience. And God rewards our obedience. Hustle culture says your grind is your security. The more you grind, the more you earn. But faith, on the other hand, says it is your responsibility to be obedient, do the work, and it is God's responsibility to provide. But faith says it is your responsibility to do the work diligently. And yes, we still work. Yes, we still show up. Yes, we still move. Yes, we still create. However, the outcomes are not ours to carry. We surrender it to God. We say, God, I trust you. I'm being obedient to what it is that I'm being told to do, or at least what I think I'm being told to do in this time. And I'm trusting you with how this works out. I'm trusting you with the outcome. I'm trusting your sovereignty to do what you do, and that's provide. I'm going to do what I do, and that's show up. I'm going to do what I do, and that's be obedient. I'm going to do what I do, and that's stick to the plan. I'm going to do what I do, and remember the mission over my move. I'm going to do what I do, and remember my discipline over my desires. And I'm gonna let you do what you do. And I'm gonna trust that you're gonna do what you do and provide. Because if we think about it, exhaustion doesn't really come from the actual work itself. It usually comes from the mental load that we carry on trying to control what the outcomes are going to be, trying to control what the results are going to be, trying to control what's going to be produced, what type of fruit is going to come forth from the work that we're doing. That's where the exhaustion comes in, because it's mental overload, because it was never really our burden to actually bear. It comes from trying to be the source. We're not the source. We're just the resources. And God gonna continue to provide resources for us. So trust God, do the work. Leave the results up to Him. Trust God, do the work, and know that He's gonna provide. Trust God, do the work, and watch Him blow your mind.